I came across an old drawing that I did maybe 1 or 2 years ago, and it is Counselor Deanna Troi from the Starship Enterprise, Next Generation. She is the ship's counselor. I don't know if you could see the whole thing, and just a beautiful pose. I froze the TV, which is what I do every now and then. And I get their poses. Strike a pose, right? Why she's sitting like this is because she's in someone's fantasy. And that person is Lieutenant Barclay. Now, he's kind of shy, no, very shy, and a little awkward around his co-shipmates. And though he's very brilliant, he has trouble speaking up. He's just very nervous all the time. And actually, Counselor Deanna Troi is his therapist. Boom. And, well, we can see the attraction in every way, right? Matter of fact, I think on my next date, I'm gonna sit like this. Just kidding. Okay. So I wanted to share this. And then also, since we have her here, there was another episode, different episode, where Counselor Troi is counseling a young boy who was the sole survivor of a spaceship that was utterly destroyed. And Commander Data, who is an android, and everybody loves Data. He was like one of the most popular characters for women in particular, because he struck women as being very handsome, even though he's got that pale complexion, and he just has a wonderful personality for an android with no feelings. But even though he seems like he has feelings. Anyway, the boy gets close to him because Data saved his life, basically, because no one else could do it. Data has the strength of like 10 men. From that point on, the boy was not only grateful, but he saw him as a friend, of a father figure. He just clung to him, because he just had no one. His parents died on the ship. He was in a lot of trauma from losing the entire ship and crew. And so he got attached to Data, and more than that, he emulated him. He didn't want feelings like Data. When he wasn't ready to, grieve. Really, it's an episode kind of about grief and grieving. And this boy, he just wasn't ready yet. And so he pretended he was an android. And so he and Data kind of bond throughout the episode, and combs his hair like Data and just talks like him. Like, doesn't eat. But anyway, long story short, this is the funny part. So it's Counselor Troi's mission, and also her job, to get the boy to feel his feelings and also explain what happened on the ship. He's the only witness, and the captain really needs to know what happened. So Captain Picard, he goes up to her and says, "So, are we making any progress on the boy? Are we going to find out? Do you think he's going to tell us what really happened aboard that ship?" And Counselor Troi, here she is again. Okay, she doesn't talk to the captain looking like this. Of course not. No. So she says to him, "It's possible." In other words, it's possible that the boy will open up and reveal what happened that day. And the captain says, "Okay, very good, carry on, carry on." And that just tickled my funny bone. Picture yourself at work, at a job, okay? Let's say my boss would come up to me and say, do you think you can get that report out in an hour? And imagine I say, it's possible. And I leave it at that. You know, I don't think that would fly in the real world. And yet it does on Starship Enterprise. For some reason, there's a magic in this show. It's not like Captain Picard says, well, wait a minute, is it 90% possible that he'll snap to it and tell us what happened? Or 50%? We need to know what happened on that ship. No, he doesn't do that. He doesn't do it. So I had to think about this. Possible. It's possible. The word possible holds like a universe, a universal idea that doesn't pigeonhole you into yes or no, how much of a yes or how much of a no. It's like a faith. It's almost like a faith. It hit me like a light bulb moment. It's like you don't have to ask anything because it's possible. You're not going to close the door on an idea or something you want to do in your life. You're just going to leave it open to the possibilities, to the mysticism of possible, and the mystery. The mystery. Is it possible or not? And go with it. Just go with it.